Bharat. We are grateful to our Principal Madam and IIC President Dr. Surinder Kaur for her constant guidance and motivation, and to our IIC Convener Mrs. Vivek Madam for her valuable support. Special thanks to our event coordinators and IIC members, Mrs. Shushma Madam, Mrs. Manika Ma'am, Mrs. Mamta Ma'am for their efforts in organizing this event. Today's session focuses on the significance of cybersecurity and how emerging technologies like AI/ML, IoT are shaping innovations for a safer University, Bangalore, with rich research experience in IoT and AI. Now, I request Dr. Tejal J. John Sir to kindly begin the session and share his thought on innovation approaches in cybersecurity.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my slide visible for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, we are in a week of celebration, right? National Cyber Security Awareness. Get into your system and exploit them. So that is the importance of what I call ethical hacking is. And let us see some understanding about the ethical hacking. So ethical hacker also uses the same tools and techniques as a normal attacker, which attacks your system to improve the security of your system. What you have to do is you have to find out what are the vulnerabilities or drawbacks within your organizations. So once you yourself find out what are the vulnerabilities within an organization, or you are finding out the holes or patches within your system, you can defend your system and strengthen your own systems or applications that you develop with. The hacker is using the same tools and techniques to attack your system. As an ethical hacker, you are also using the same tools and techniques and finding out the vulnerabilities of your system well in advance so that you can improve the securities of the system that you develop with. So here, can you see the screen, the chart which gives you an importance why this ethical hacking matters a lot. In 2020, you can see a report of Cyber Threat Intelligence Global Market 2025 report. When you see on 2025, you can see a dollar $11.58 billion. And when it goes ahead, you can see a marginal increase in the market size when you compare about the global market when you relate it with ethical hacking. So this is a report by Cyber Threat Intelligence Global Market 2025, and it states that a gradual increase in the market size you can see in billions, and that is what ethical hacking matters. So let us have a little more statistical input about why this ethical hacking matters a lot. For example, the global cybercrime damage that it is causing. The cybercrime is projected to cost around world $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. It is from the source that is Cybersecurity Ventures. When you look about the data breach cost that is happening, around an average of data breach cost that happened in 2023 is about $4.45 million. That is from the IBM cost of data breach report of 2023 that I had taken. So when you look about the time to detect the breach, once the breach has occurred, and the time it takes to detect a breach, it takes an average of 2.4 days to identify a breach and 75 days to contain it. So see, it is from the IBM security. So before in hand, if you are able to identify a breach, what is the thing? We can save a lot of time and effort. The breach can happen, and after that rectifying it takes a longer time and a longer amount and cost, especially when you take about an organization. The integrity of the organization is actually questioned, right? So when you take when something happens, if an external or a malicious hacks your system, for example, your college website is being hacked, And some anonymous contents or propaganda is being shared in your website. So what happens there? See, the integrity of your organization itself is being lost, right? So that is better to identify the threat well in advance so that you can solve it. So another one statistics is giving you the preventive value. The organization that use ethical hacking and security testing saves an average of $1.76 million per breach. So this is from IBM Security. Saying the human error or insider threat. Around 95% of the cybersecurity breaches are caused by human errors. So what ethical hackers do is they are working ahead to minimize the risk. And the demand for ethical hackers, when you look about all the job aspects in computer science, the more paid job is ethical hackers, right? So there are over 3.5 million unified cybersecurity jobs worldwide, okay, and which ethical hackers among the top roles. So when you compare about the job market, the ethical hackers are having a great role, and the amount that they get as package when you compare to other domains of computer science is also more. And this, as the more number of devices are evolving, as more number of networks are dividing, because of IoT, a lot of connected devices are there, right? The world and technology is being changed day by day. So there is a huge scope for ethical hackers to defend their system and to protect their systems. So there is a huge job opportunity. So are you all finally a computer science students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're all finally a computer science student. So you are now in the peak of finding the placements, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I want to just introduce you. This is the domain in computer science. We have a lot of domains, right? And this is a very important domain in computer science where you get a very good package of jobs. So actually, if you are having some certifications in this cybersecurity and ethical hacking, it's more liable that you will get jobs. So thank you. So why ethical hacking matters? The first thing is it prevents the cyber attack. So ethical hackers identify what are the vulnerabilities within your system before the malicious hackers exploit them. So beforehand, you are finding out the vulnerabilities of your system, and proactively you are defending your systems against the threats which are going to happen. So that is, you are preventing the cyber attack, the first thing. The second thing is your data or the data in your organization is very important, right? So the ethical hackers will protect your sensitive data. It can be your personal data, it can be your financial data, or the information to your organization that is very crucial with. So unauthorized access towards this data is not permitted, and you're protecting your data. So that is also important. You are protecting and safeguarding your data. Then when an organization is concerned, the goodwill or the trust that it builds is very important with the people. So when your system is getting attacked, what happens? It is gone, right? So companies with strong cybersecurity practices gain customers' confidence. And it must be aligned. When you do something, it must be aligned to the regulatory compliances which are offered, so that the vulnerabilities assessment is being done very particular and your company is safeguarded from the data leakage or data breaches. Apart from that, what ethical hacking matters? It saves our cost. I told you to identify something and to rectify how much costly it is, right? So to prevent a breach is significantly cheaper than dealing with it after some time. So aftermath, if you're dealing with the attacks, or if you're preventing the breach well in advance, it is more cheaper than you're handling it after. So apart from that, it enhances the national security. You know different attacks which are happening, right? Now cyber attacks is happening. Than normal terrorism, cyber terrorism is in the picture, right? So it enhances the national security. So when different cases are coming, when Pulwama attacks are coming, generally we are in a notion of our patriotic feelings normally comes, right? We are in at that time. At that time, what the people do is they do the cyber terrorist attacks, right? They'll share a link. We'll just click on that link, knowingly or unknowingly, and all our money will be taken, or our phone may be hacked, all our information is being taken, just in a click. So anonymous messages and click, if you simply click in response to that, what happened? Terrorism is in picture. So what matters is try to become an ethical hacker. So ethical hacking is also known as white hat hacking. So this is what ethical hacking matters a lot. I repeat, it prevents us, it prevents the cyber attacks, it protects our sensitive data, it builds the trust within the organization, lot of cost is being saved, and it always enhances the national security. So let us discuss what are the important rules that is ethical hacking do, what are the core principles of ethical hacking. So ethical hacking must never negatively impact the system or data that is being tested. So once you are given, you will go into a contract, right? Once you are an ethical hacker, you will go into a contract or an agreement with the company that you are having. And you know what all types of data that you will be dealing with, or what all areas that you will be dealing with. You are not provided the complete act. Sometimes it is provided, sometimes a particular domain or a particular module is being given to you to find out the vulnerability. So it is advisable, and it has to be, you have to have a contract with the company or the organization that you are going to attack with. Same like the attacker only, you are attacking with the same tools and technologies that you are using to attack your system. So let us discuss what are the core principles of ethical hacking. So ethical hacking must never negatively impact the system or data being tested. The intention is to provide help and security without damaging or disrupting the data which is already present. The intention is to safeguard the system or to protect the system from the malicious hackers. Why it matters? Because even unintentional harm can lead to legal actions or lot of trust or security breaches. So ethical hackers are judged not just by the way they find, but how they respond to what they act. See, there may be vulnerabilities in system. Even people are finding out vulnerabilities in Google, right? And it is being identified and they are paid for it, right? Once the vulnerabilities are found, as an ethical hacker, what you can do is you can inform the organization, yes, these are the vulnerabilities that I had found in your system. It is more appreciable than you making that what you had found, making it public towards audience. Once you make it public, never access or share someone else's data without the concern of that person. That is what you are respecting, the privacy of the other person. And ethical hackers must protect user information at all times, right? So that is the privacy that you have. So someone else's data without their concern, we cannot take it, right? Even while you are publishing a paper or something, without the concern, or you are just taking a diagram which you have not drawn and making it your own. That is not fair. That is not your data what you have made. So respect the privacy of other individuals' data is important. The second thing is maintaining integrity. So be honest with your findings. So once you found out the vulnerabilities, be honest about your findings. What are the actions that you are taking? What are the capabilities that you can do with these findings? Okay. So you give the correct report than falsifying or misusing it. Then the second thing is confidentiality. So you are handling very sensitive data. So that is your responsibility. So report the vulnerabilities exactly. Okay. Then to the authorized individual, it is your responsibility to inform the vulnerabilities, whatever you had found. Then the fourth point is practice responsible disclosure. That means if you have found out some flaws, you inform them, inform the concerned organization. So before it goes to the public, the organization can fix it, right? So that is also very important. That you find out a flaw and you make it very public, then it becomes more difficult for them, right? Because the hackers can intrude to their systems and hack it out. So before that, that is a responsible disclosure that you keep about. Then follow legal boundaries. So always operate with the scope of law and permission. So that is very important. You cannot simply go and access a system, right? You have to take a concern from them. And unauthorized access, even with good intention, is illegal. That is very important. You cannot simply, I'll show you some of the tools, I'll share with you some of the tools that you can use. So it is not that by using the tool you can do it, but it is unauthorized. They can even complain against you for using that without their permission. So legally make an agreement with the people, then you can hack other system by using the tool. So do not harm. So you cannot damage the system or data or anything in the system. That also you have to give. So these are the core principles of cyber ethics: respecting the privacy, maintaining the integrity, ensuring the confidentiality, practice responsible disclosure, follow the legal boundaries, and do not harm the device. So let us have the classifications of hackers. So you can see different classes of hackers, right? Have you heard about all these hackers? Can someone respond?
Yes, sir.
So what is your idea? Can one of you just tell me about these types of hackers, white hat hackers? Is there anyone interested in hacking? Or is there anyone who had used some tools and hacked any systems? Is there anyone among you?
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes, fine. If anyone, I would like to interact with that person. Okay, fine. So let us discuss the classification. Thank you. So classification of hackers: white hat hackers, black hat hackers, grey hat hackers, crypt kiddies, activists, state-sponsored hackers, and cyber terrorists. So these are the different classifications of hackers I have classified. So some act as action heroes, right? Some act as villains here, and some people are in between heroes and villains. So that's just how I classify the hackers. So white hat hackers, so they are called ethical hackers. So they improve the security system actually. So that white hat hackers are called the ethical hackers. Then what is black hat hackers? So black hat hackers are malicious hackers who exploit the system for their gain. They are the malicious hackers, so they are called black hat hackers. For their gain, they are hacking the system. So in between the black hat and white hat, we are having grey hat hackers. So it's a blend of both black hat and white hat. Then what is script kiddies? What is script kiddies? So they are inexperienced users. If you are not experienced and you are just going and using those tools, you are a script kiddie. Just you have a tool and you are using that, right? Then what is activist hackers? They want to promote some political or some social messages or some propaganda they want to promote. So they are using. So they are called activist hackers. Then what is state-sponsored hackers? So state-sponsored hackers are sponsored by the government. They are paid for it, for hacking the system. By the government. So that is state-sponsored. And what is cyber terrorist? So cyber terrorist is creating a fear or disruption for political or ideological reasons. So they want to create, so like the normal terrorism in the cyber space, they are doing their terrorism. They are creating a fear or disruption to propagate their political or ideological agendas, whatever may be the reason. So these are the different types of hackers. We'll see them a little detail. So white hat hackers. So this is what I was talking about, the ethical hackers, right? The ethical hackers, what they do? So they operate with legal authorizations. So they have an agreement legally. They get into the system or the networks and find out what are the vulnerabilities. Once they identify the vulnerabilities, they fix it out. And they have a strict ethical code of conduct. They have their regulation. Then what they do is, ethical hackers, sometimes they are appointed as penetration testers, They test the systems and identify what are the flaws in there. There are some security consultants are also there. In every organization, we have security consultants, right, to safeguard their system. Or there can also be auditors, security auditors. So these are all the different employment opportunities that you can see about. And some certifications such as Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH. It's a very good certificate. So these certificates are owned by this white hat hacker. So they play a crucial role in identifying what are the risks. The risk assessment is being done. So these are the roles of white hat hacker. So when we look about the black hat hackers, what happens? White hat with the permission, right? So here just without the permission, these people are going to attack. So that is black hat hacker. So what black hat attackers do? They exploit the vulnerabilities. They steal and destroy, and they even manipulate the data. So they engage in illegal activities such as they find out the fraud, identify identity theft, as you know. So these are some of the attacks that you know, right? Pretending to be someone else, ransomware attacks. So these are some of the attacks that you are also familiar with. So here, without the permission, with a malicious purpose, a person is going to attack the system. So that is black hat attackers. So operate anonymously, right? And they do it with the motive of some financial gain or some revenge or to attain some power or something like that. So what is the purpose or serious threats which it creates? It creates a serious threat towards individuals, organization, as well as the national security is concerned. It's also a threat, right? If the national defense systems are being attacked, imagine if the national defense system is attacked, what happens? So that is black hat hackers. Next, let us move on to grey hat hackers. So I told it is in between, right? So operation without explicit permission, but do not typically have malicious intent. So it is in between what we call white hat and grey hat. So white hat and black hat. That's called grey hat actors. So they discover the vulnerabilities and they report them sometimes after breaching the system. So it is ethical as well as unethical. We can say it is in between that. So this white hat hackers. So their actions may still be illegal because it is they are not going into an agreement like white hat hackers, right? So it may be illegal too sometimes. So their work can indirectly improve the security, but have some ethical concerns are still arising or raised. The next type is script kiddies. Your people belongs to this category, right? So we use the existing hacking tools or scripts without understanding how they work. So what is the motive behind the script kiddies is something thrilling, right? So it can be out of boredom or peer recognition, maybe. That may be the motive behind these people. So what we are doing is unintentionally cause serious. This can cause unintentionally. This is done unintentionally maybe, but it causes serious harms towards the system and the data that you are having. So it's to be often active in online forums and community sharing the pre-made tools, right? And they may not be that skilled enough, but still out of interest, they are testing out the system and checking the vulnerabilities. Yes, am I audible? Yes. Okay, fine, thank you. So then the next group is the activists. Activists, what they do is they want to promote some political or social or ideological agendas. So they use hacking techniques to promote these things. So they may target some institutions, they target some corporates, they target some government organizations. So what is engage in activities like website defacement, data leak, or DOS attack. So what they do is they seek to raise awareness and cause disruption in protest. For example, like to human profit driven too. Okay? Controversial see as cyber criminals by some, and some see them as digital activists. That is the controversial we can see. When we talk about hackers, some see them as cyber criminals, And on the other hand, some see them as a digital activist. So that is activist. Then the next category is state-sponsored hackers. Actually, they are being funded by the government. That is the importance that you can see here. They focus on intelligence gathering, surveillance, and on the systems of government, and they are paid by the government. And they often use advanced tools and technologies and infrastructure. And cyber warfare and national defense strategy, they have a great part. So they are actually employed by the government and they are being paid by the government. When there is a national crisis or something, these people are being called and these people will be rectifying the issues. So that is actually sponsored and paid by the government. So that is state-sponsored hackers. Then the last one is cyber terrorist. So what is happening to cyber terrorists? Just like the normal terrorism. So they use cyber attacks to create fear and panic and disruption in the society. So when we look about the target critical infrastructure like power grids, transportation, hospitals, so their aim can be to achieve political, religious or ideological objectives through some sphere. So like normal maybe part of a linked organization, just like a terrorist group. Now they are in the cyberspace and they are doing the cyber terrorism, right? So it is a major threat towards the national security and law enforcement agencies. So these are another category of people that you can see, that is cyber terrorists, which is attacking and creating a fear and panic and a disruption in the society, basically in the cyber world. So what are the key roles of ethical hackers? The first key role is as a penetration tester. So conducts stimulated attacks to test the system to find out what are the vulnerabilities or weak points in the system. So how can you check the vulnerability? As a vulnerability assessor, you can use the tools like standards or met. That can be also done. So these are different roles that an ethical hacker can deal with. So how does white hat hackers help? When I look at how it helps, just identify the vulnerabilities before the malicious attackers exploit them. You prevent the data breach, you close the security gaps, and you protect the sensitive information. Other than that, you make a real attack as it is, right? You stimulate a real attack and just exploit your system or evaluate your system and strengthen your security measures. And you ensure the regulatory compliance, that is, they help the organization. You have to check that the organization meets the legal and industry cybersecurity standards, so that regulatory compliances are met or what. That also can be ensured by the white hat hackers. You identify the weakness in the system, you prevent from the data breaches, test the system defenses, just like you stimulate a real attack and evaluate the system. Apart from that, you also check that whether the organization is meeting the legal or industry cyber security standards. And you can also improve the security awareness, the best practices and common threats, and educate your team and response to incidences. Some of the incidents happen, some of the security breach happens. So before that happens, identify them and respond to that. That also is a very important and key part of it. So build safer technology. You can collaborate with the developers and designers. So while developing the applications or the infrastructure itself, so this security aspects can also be brought about than identifying. So Kali Linux that you talked about, it's an ultimate tool that we are using, ultimate operating system that you are using. So why we are using this, that we already have to check the vulnerabilities within the system. I had showcased you some of the tools that we use to check and identify. Some are used for checking the network scanning. The other tool is used for particularly for identifying the analysis, the packet analyzer in the network. Some is used for identifying the databases, the vulnerabilities in your databases. Some is used for identifying the web vulnerabilities. Some is particularly scanning the web servers. Some is and open source intelligent tools just for collecting or gathering information from different sites. So different tools are there which serves different purposes. So what are the opportunity that you have? As a fresher, around 7 to 22 LPA you can have, and you can be in different roles such as penetration tester, you can be a security analyst, you can be a cyber security engineer. And in all the firms you have a person called security auditor or security engineer, right? So even in banks, even in IT firms, even in government agencies. In government agencies itself, I told you, right? They the social responsible hackers are there, which are earned and paid by the government. So certified professionals, where you have a great career opportunity also here in this particular domain. So what are the skills that you need? Some of the skills that you need is, some of the technical skills that you need is, you must have a solid understanding about the networks, about the protocols, firewalls, and operating systems such as Linux, Windows, all these things you must be well versed. Apart from that, the proficiency in some programming language such as Python, C, JavaScript, and familiarity with the databases and some web technologies is needed. Apart from that, some of the certifications that you can earn is CEH, that is Certified Ethical Hacker, OSCP, Offensive Security Certified Professional. So I had listed some of the certificates here, you can go through them. This will make you. So let me go with the quiz. Can you answer me? You can see the question there.
Answer this quiz.
Randomly.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So which statement best describes the ethical hacker? I'll read the question for you. Hacking with malicious intent for personal gain, unauthorized access to system to steal the data, legally probing system to find security flaws and fixing them, or writing viruses to test antivirus program. Which is the answer? Yes, the audience.
अपने माइक ऑन करके बता सकते हो?
Sir, option 3, legally probing systems to find security flaws and fix them.
Yes, so that's the best thing, right? That is what it does. You are right. Let us go for the second question. Which of the following is not typically a role of an ethical hacker? You can see the options there and give me an answer.
Answer दे दो अपने फोन से.
Yes. Can I get an answer?
PC1 अभी करके आए हो.
It's not typically a role. That's the question. Okay. Yes. Among them, what do you feel? What do you feel? Is it penetration test? So is it security consultant? Is it cyber forensic analyst or a security analyst?
Sir, I guess it's cyber forensic analysis.
Yes, you are right. Your guess is right. So the third, one more question and I'll stop it. Yes, which of these tools is not commonly used by the ethical hackers? I have shared you some of the tools, right?
Microsoft Word.
That is very simple question, right? So by this, let me end the session. So I think you got a small idea about the basics, right?
Excuse me.
Of ethical hacking and different types of hackers, different tools that you can use in ethical hacking, and the awareness that you must have, since this is a month of cyber security awareness month, right? October is a month of cyber security awareness. So thank you all for this initiative and make sure that you learn and grow. So within a small span of time, I think I conveyed what is particularly ethical hacking, and I'll meet you soon. Thank you all. Thank you for your patient listening, and if you have anything to interact, you can ask.
Excuse me, sir. Students are having some cross questions, so can we ask?
Yes.
So, sir, as a beginner, if I want to start ethical hacking or I could learn ethical hacking, so what should be the steps or what should be the certifications that I should go for?
we are having basic online certifications. So basically, you must have, before going to ethical hacking, you must have a basic idea about Linuxes. For example, Kali Linux you must be very familiar with. Then I had shown you a lot of tools, right? Around 5 to 6 tools I had shown, and each tool is having its own purposes. I'll share the slide with your teacher. Each tools are having different purposes. So each tool serves different purposes. So once you have to exploit different tools. Other than that, the standard certifications that I had projected, these certificates that you can do it.
Okay.
Especially certified ethical hacker is a very valid certificate which you need to possess as a ethical hacker.
Thank you so much, sir,
Yes.
for sharing such an insightful and informative session on ethical hacking. The way you connected emerging technologies with real-world application was highly enlightening. Thank you so much, sir. On the behalf of IIC and Computer Science Department, I extend heartfelt gratitude to our resource person and our principal ma'am, convener ma'am, coordinators and all participants for making this event successful. Let's continue to stay aware, secure and innovative, working together towards a cyber Jagrit Bharat. Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am.
So thank you all and have a good day. Thank you.